Mamdani is going to increase property taxes, even if he gets the income tax increase on millionaires and on businesses. How do I know this? Because it's part of his political platform. He campaigned on it. I made a video about his tax plan for property taxes. I screenshot it, highlighted it, underlined sentences, read them while I pointed at the words, and people still came into my comment sections and misunderstood me and didn't hear what I said. And now he's talking about this as if it's only going to happen if he doesn't get the tax increase, and you guys are believing it. People have asked me to comment on him and his administration so far and whether I still dislike him, and I haven't felt like it because I think it's pointless. I'm watching people believe him when he lies. No one fact checks him. He gets credit for things he had nothing to do with. No one seems to notice. He messed up really badly within his first week. He had the real estate lobby smiling from ear to ear, and none of you have any idea what I'm talking about. And so I'm at a point where I'm like, you know what, none of this is going to affect me negatively, and people seem to be happy with him, even though I'm watching. It's political theater. Like, honestly, at this point, I'm just sitting back, informing myself because I like to be informed, and just analyzing this from almost like a research perspective of psychology and manipulation and collective delusion. It's interesting. He had nothing to do with the child care plan. Nothing to do with that. But you guys believe that he was able to do that within 8 days. Get a statewide child care measure passed, a $500 million measure with no bill, no vote, no negotiation, nothing. That actually passed in early 2025, back when they were negotiating the budget for 2026. The bill was presented by the Family and Children's Committee in the state legislature. It was negotiated, it passed the legislature, then it passed the Senate, then Hochul announced it with Adams in the spring or in the summer. And then when Hochul realized that Adams was not going to win the election, she took back the state funding. Adams.
So this is what we see. We see Mamdani getting exposed, but the thing is, though, we got people giving you facts, New Yorkers, and you won't believe them. So now it's starting to believe that you guys will fall for anything. You really think that he's able to get all these things that he's getting in 8 days? No, these things are already been in motion. You know how long it takes to get money from the city to the state or the state to the city? That takes time. That takes voting. Mamdani's not Superman. You guys keep falling for these things. A lot of things that Mamdani is fitting off of is because of Eric Adams. Eric Adams is the one that got a lot of things lined up for Mamdani. Mamdani knows that, right? But what he's trying to do is he's trying to do the property tax too. He's trying to take your money in all ways, but New Yorkers, you guys will fall for everything. I really thought for somebody from California that New Yorkers were smarter than this. New Yorkers, you are really starting to look dumb, because you're falling for what Mamdani is throwing at you. You see what's happening with NYCHA. He's not even including you guys in a rental ripoff hearing. Why? Because he wants those buildings to be demolished and rebuilt and given to other people. That's not you. He's running the game on you guys, but why? Because he looks good, looks well tailored, he looks clean. He tells you what you want to hear, but he does something totally different. Watch when these property taxes are raised. When your landlord raised the property taxes and raised the rent because he got to match those property taxes, it's all going to go on you. He said you guys are going to get free buses. What happened? He said you guys are going to get free metro. What happened? All these things that you were supposed to get free, where is it at? He's lying to you guys in your face. But a lot of these things, these early victories that he had, came from Mayor Eric Adams. NYPD reported the lowest crime rate ever since recorded. That was because Mayor Eric Adams, that was on his watch. His police commissioner was chosen by Mayor Eric Adams. Mamdani is just stepping in, making himself look good, but then in the meantime, he's taking money from you guys through the back door. I really thought New Yorkers were smarter than this. I really thought New Yorkers had more balls. But you guys are falling for the smile that socialists, the Democrats, what they do. And it's sad. He's running the play right in front of you guys, and you guys don't see it.
Complained about it. She took it back because she was holding it as political leverage to protect herself in her own campaign this year, okay? It was an astute political move. She waited. When Mamdani won, she announced it. She allowed him to take credit for it. Why did she do this? Because she wanted to ride the waves of his influence. She wants to show that she's on his side. She also sabotaged his plan. She showed that it wasn't necessary because she decreased taxes on middle-income earners to implement universal childcare for all children under the age of 2. Okay, so she weakened his argument for increasing taxes on the super wealthy. She said, look, we could do this without that. Okay, do we actually have the funding for that? I don't think so. It's gonna, I guess, pop up out of somewhere. I don't know, but yeah.
That's one of the things you got to understand when these politicians telling you we're gonna do free this, free that, free this, free that. It's nothing's free. The question you guys refuse to ask is, okay, if it's free for them, who's paying for this? Okay, I know you guys are paying for it, but how are you guys paying for it if you guys are in a deficit? So what do you have to do to close that gap? Ah, you got to raise property taxes. That affects me. There's nothing in this life that is free. Everything comes with a cost, but you guys fall for the okey doke because why? You guys are lazy. You guys don't want to get a real job. You living off the system. You don't care. You want all you hear is free, and you think your life is going to be better, but the property taxes go up, so your rent gonna go up. Then you can't afford it. Then what happens? You kicked out, and then gentrification starts. He don't care about y'all. You guys don't ask the question. Okay, you telling me it's going to be free for the kids? That's great. I like that, but how are we going to pay for that? How are we going to pay for that? I thought we was in a deficit. No, if they having kids, they should be taking care of their own kids, not the city, not the state. Sorry. If you're having kids, you need to allocate money from your own money to take care of your own kids because they're your kids. If you can't afford the kids, what do you need to do? Close your legs.
He had nothing to do with it at all. He actually looked really salty when they announced it. He didn't look happy about it. No one seemed to notice. Um, he lied about the deficit. He lied, and when he lied, and you guys all believed him, I was like, wow, these people really don't understand how the government works. Again, I talked about how finances operate in New York City due to the fact that there has been a lot of corruption in New York City's history. Mayors that have been very corrupt, including one in the 70s who was spending like crazy on social services and fudging the books. Someone much like Mamdani, just wanting to spend, and he almost bankrupted the city. And at that point, the state decided, you know what, New York needs supervision, and so they can't do things without our permission, like increase taxes, for example, which Mamdani needs Hochul's permission for. Okay, y'all don't seem to understand how the government works. The state controller, the city controller, they were all talking about the decrease in revenue and the increase in expenses. Every time Adams talked about the deficit, every time he explicitly mentioned a $12 billion deficit, he said this was going to happen. And every time he tried to cut back, he would ask agencies to find an area where they could cut back. He instituted a hiring freeze in the NYPD. The city council and everyone else would say that he was far too conservative with the budget and villainize him, and he would restore the funding because everyone was just against him for it. Mamdani says that he's going to assign someone in each agency to find cuts in the agencies, and everyone's like, oh my God, look, accountability, it's incredible. He's doing the same exact thing Adams said. But he's blaming Adams because he knows that he's going to have trouble delivering on what he promised. And he knows you guys won't fact check him and that you don't understand how the government works. And
What you got to understand is when you're doing something, you got to have a villain. Mamdani works well because he has a villain. He makes people his villain. So the reason why he got in, Mayor Adams wasn't his villain. It was Trump. So he said Trump, 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 Trump. Then once he gets in and he looks at the budget, he said, yeah, Mayor Adams left us this. But Mayor Adams has been telling him about deficit. Mayor Adams was trying to be conservative and cut spending, like she said. But Mamdani did the same play and he got praised, but Mayor Adams didn't. It's because people are delusional, bro. People just riding the wave. People want to be popular. People want to keep their jobs, so they just going with what's going on, what's hot, the influence. The reason why Mamdani is able to do everything that he can is because he has influence. So with that influence, that gives him power. That push pressure on Hochul, that push pressure on the city council, that put pressure on everybody that's around him that's supposed to be working with him or doing what he says and making it happen. We all know this. If there's a deficit, what's the first thing he's supposed to do? Cut spending. We see a lot of these Democrats, a lot of these socialist politicians, when they have a deficit, they go higher. Look at what is that? Baltimore. Was that Brandon Scott? He has a deficit. Schools is bad. Economy's bad. What does he do? His payroll for his office goes 5 times higher. Or with what money? So what are we gonna do? Raise property taxes. I think Baltimore has one of the highest property taxes in America. What are they gonna do? Raise it even more. That's the thing that you see with Mamdani, man. He's taking credit for Mayor Adams' things, and then he's trying to put pressure by using his influence. You got to study these people. But New Yorkers, I thought you were better than this. I thought you were smarter than this. I thought you guys were tough. I thought you guys couldn't get punked. But you guys getting punked in broad daylight. Let me know your thoughts about this in the comments below. Like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Tap into the Patreon link in the description below. Tune into the No Filter Morning Show live stream only on YouTube. 10:21 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, Monday through Friday. I'll see you there. Also, too, remember, the haters are going to hate. Keep going. I'm out.